This one's on. You mind if I close this door?
Go for it. Let me actually turn my phone on too.
Oh, yeah, let me turn mine on.
Oops, wrong one. There you go.
Welcome to Onyx for Health Act.
I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah, wherever. Whatever works for you.
All right. Good to go. My name is Keaton Stewart. I'm here with Darby Gough, Dean of Students. What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Oh, that's a good question. I like to think about that as a balance. When you get that feeling in your core that you are, everything's laid, not, the answers aren't there, but you are at peace, I guess.
Okay.
So a lot of times when that happens for me, my kids are happy. I have 2 kids. They're healthy and happy and safe. And then usually friends or family are around or have some connection with them.
Okay. Okay. So you say you have 2 kids. Not that this question is based on your answer, but when you gave me your idea of happiness, my thing is, what is your greatest fear?
Oh. Actually, it's changed over time,
Okay.
and I would say my greatest fear right now is that I pass away before they get older, or before suddenly, I guess. Well, it's
Okay.
mostly suddenly,
Right.
so that I would lose an opportunity, or they would, lose an opportunity. Not that dying at any point would be easy, but that was what I would think. So that's recently. It used to be, my family's in Seattle, and my parents are out there, and so it used to be that they would pass away,
Okay.
and I wouldn't get to say goodbye, or one of my sisters.
Right.
But recently it's changed. It's
Okay.
that reality of, if this ends quickly, I feel bad for
Right.
what they'll have to deal with,
Right.
not having their mom. So.
Okay. That's understandable. So who would be the most living person that you admire to you?
I had this question the other day in a leadership class, and I chose Dr. Slapitza, actually.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people chose their parents, but it's been incredible for me to watch what he has done for Avila University. He
Right.
started a year before I got here.
Okay.
And the opportunities that he provides, not only students, faculty, staff, but the administration, people in my role, and the vision that he has. He worked with first-year students. He helped teach first-year seminar with Jason Baldwin and I this
Okay.
year. His drive and determination is something that I would love to be able to continue or do myself.
Okay. Okay. What is your greatest? What is your current state of mind?
My current state of mind
Yes.
on Monday morning, or I'm like, what exactly do you mean?
Just overall now, just in life in general now.
I'm very happy. I came to Kansas City 7 years ago, or almost 8 years ago.
Okay.
I love the city. I like my job. It's never the same. Always
Okay.
something different.
Okay.
And in general, I'm happy. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, on what occasion? I don't know if in this interview particularly, but on what occasion do you lie?
Do I lie?
Yes.
Ooh. Well, I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
So I have been known to tell them they look good when they don't. Let's see. I don't know. I was helping in, I don't know that you would call it a lie, but I was helping in my daughter's class a couple weeks ago. And students had to take a math test.
Right.
So I was timing their multiplication. And so there's that fine line between encouragement, and I didn't lie because I couldn't pass them unless they did the math. But there were some that it was hard to. They just didn't have the skill set.
Right.
And so I remember thinking, I gotta encourage them, but I don't want to build their hopes up because I don't think they're gonna pass today. But anyway, so that was a turmoil. But anyway.
Okay.
I'm not lying in my interview if that's what you're trying to ask.
Oh no. Well, I asked you what's the most person you admire. So, which living person do you most despise and why?
Ooh. I don't know. That's a hard question. It is. I don't usually dwell on things that bother me, and so let's see. A living person I despise the most. I can't think of anybody, but I can't think of somebody who's not alive either.
Okay.
If you picked a different word, so to me, despise would mean I hate them to the core. Like
okay.
So do you mean that, or like
well,
I just think makes bad choices, or they drive me crazy,
well,
or
just make bad choices.
I think we were talking about football.
Right.
I think there are some athletes that popped in my mind first, and unfairly probably, but their actions become public,
Right.
and so I would wish they would make different choices.
Okay.
Does that seem like fair? But you could say the same thing about movie stars too.
Oh, no, I understand what you're saying.
But no, I don't have, I don't know, I don't have a person right now that I can think of.
Okay. Well, what would you say that you disliked about yourself?
Oh, myself?
Yes, yourself.
Oh, that's a good one. What do I dislike about myself? I dislike that I have a long list of things I wish I did. I wish I worked out more. I wish I ate healthier. But when you think about a personality or an internal trait, I am not the most organized. Okay. So I wish that when I put something someplace, I would remember. I hate losing things. Okay. So I think that's related. I'm sure I lose them because I put them someplace and forget where they are. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, speak just to piggyback off of traits. Okay. How will I ask this? What trait do you like in a man or a woman? I don't know if you're married or anything, but if you are or if you're not, what trait do you like in a man most? I
am not married. I like humor.
Okay.
I like a sense of humor.
Right.
And then compassion. That would come out in, I don't know, a dedication or kids or, but yeah, humor is probably number one.
Okay. Now, what about in a woman? Like just your friend?
Sure. Good listener.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be good. Have fun. But again, my friends make me laugh too. So, I mean, that's probably for both sides. But.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, speaking of friends, what do you feel like they will say, a phrase or word that you overuse?
That I overuse?
Yes.
Awesome. That would be it. I say that too much. It changes. When I first started here, I used to copy what Debbie and Jason said, and I would come home and my daughters would say, what is that? Why are you saying that? So, but it's pretty easy.
Oh, really?
I'm like, oh, that's awesome. They're gonna just shake their head. So, no. Yep.
Okay. We'll keep it in the family of just your kids and your friends. Who or what is the greatest love of your life?
Who or what is the greatest love of my life? Well, I have 2 kids, so I can't just say one of them.
True.
And then I have 3 sisters. So that's a hard question. I've also moved around a lot, so my friends have changed.
Okay.
Again, I grew up in Seattle, but then I worked around the country in different schools.
Right.
So I would have to say my kids, actually. And that, yeah. I think if you asked my friends, they would answer that in a heartbeat without any hesitation.
Right.
So
that's understandable. So, okay, you're the dean of students, so I'm pretty sure you have to love your job. So, and you have 2 kids, so I know you probably love it at home. Yep. So, my question is, when and where are you the happiest?
Oh, I would say at home. Probably shouldn't say that. What I like about my job, honestly, and working at Avila is that I really get a lot of crossover. My girls come to events. My oldest plays basketball, so she'll come to the game. Right. Or we went to Romeo and Juliet. And a lot of the opportunities that we have, my family takes advantage of. And then it really is like a family working here, which I appreciate. Right. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, earlier you said that you moved around a lot. So, if you could, what would you most like to live?
Where would I most like
Yes.
to live? When I retire, I'd like to go back to Seattle, but
Okay.
I'm not going to be retiring anytime soon.
Okay.
I loved New Mexico because it was always sunny,
Right.
but they didn't have 4 seasons,
Oh, okay.
and it was cold and sunny. This is probably my favorite place to live because I get all 4 seasons, and I really like the snow.
Right. Right.
In Seattle, we didn't get very much snow.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
Oh, yeah, and this is the biggest city I've lived in, so it has the most to
Really?
offer. Yeah, the others were small cities, small
Okay.
towns. So I like all that Kansas City has to offer socially and for my family, and all those opportunities.
You lived in Seattle?
I lived outside Seattle.
Oh, outside
Yeah, in
Seattle.
a suburb. So it was.
Okay,
I mean, I would
okay.
go into the city, but I left Seattle when I was 23 or
Mhm.
24, and so I really didn't live. I didn't
Right.
get to grow.
Right.
Here I feel like I grew up in the city, even though
Okay.
I've been old. But
So you moved around a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure you've got a lot of things from when you moved around.
okay.
So what is your most treasured possession?
Ooh. My most treasured possession. I don't have very much stuff. I mean, I don't collect a lot of things.
All right.
But I would say it's pictures or photo albums.
Okay.
Is that a fair answer? That's
Yeah,
more than one.
It is.
But yeah.
It is.
I enjoy going through those with the girls. Both of my girls were born in Tennessee when we
Mhm.
lived there. But they don't remember. They were 3 and 5 when we moved here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then when I show them, living in New Mexico, and then
Right.
their family is in Indiana and Seattle, and so we
Okay.
get an opportunity to visit those places.
Okay. Okay. So do you by any chance have a favorite author or a favorite writer?
One of my favorite books is called The Art of Possibility,
Mhm.
and I can't remember the author's name. I had to read it for class. I can see the cover. It's yellow, but I can't remember his name right now.
Okay.
And that was both for personal and work-related,
Okay.
readings.
Right.
But
Right.
usually I just read murder mystery type stuff. So
Okay. Okay.
any author is good. I don't doesn't matter.
So well, just to keep it in the family of books, who is your hero of fiction? Your favorite hero of fiction?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I really, I mean, I could pick, I don't know. I don't think I have one.
Really?
Yeah, I probably should. But I don't.
Okay. That's a fair answer.
Yeah, it's a truthful answer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
mm,
Well, I guess I would say, since you don't have one, who are your heroes in real life?
okay, my parents.
Okay.
My parents have been married 43 years. Not all good. And my oldest sister is my hero. She just had a rough time
Right.
at times
That's
and
good.
has really pulled it out. Her kids are 21 and 17. Yeah, she's
Okay.
amazing.
Hey, well, which historical figure, because you talked about, 42 years, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So, what would you say your historical figure that you identify with?
Well, that's historical figure I identify with. I can think of a couple, but I guess I have a hard time with those questions because I feel like I need to match them.
Right.
And partly because their lives are all done.
Right. Right.
And so I don't, I'm not all done. And I don't feel like I have done all I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Is that a fair question?
That's understandable.
Okay.
That's understandable. Now, this next question, you may have answered it previously earlier in the interview, but what is your greatest fear?
In regard, so I think I did, it was
Yes.
dying, but do you have in regards to something else?
In regards to, for say, let's say that university, what's your greatest fear for you?
Oh, the university,
Yes.
or my job. I would say my greatest fear is that some violence comes to the university. There are, yeah, hands down. That's
Okay.
my greatest fear for the university. Somebody asked the other day what keeps you up at night.
Right.
We were in an interview for Sister Marie's position, and my answer has changed to that. I am amazed at the amount of life that a lot of our students have.
Right.
And they're young, 18 to 25 years old usually.
Right.
And so that's what keeps me up, is trying to keep them in school and safe and protected from the life that they have outside of battle.
Okay.
There's a lot going on for a lot of people.
Right. That, that just shows like how responsible you are, and how much you care about the kids here.
Sure.
Because I've been to previous schools that they probably really don't even care.
Oh.
Yeah. So, what would you say is your best talent that you have?
My best talent. I like puzzles.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't think that's what you mean. My best talent. I think I'm genuine. I think I'm good at making people feel at ease.
Okay.
So I would say a talent that I have is meeting people, whether they're, again, my kids' friends or going into their school, or meeting new college students, or anything around the city that I might be involved in.
Okay. So what talent would you most like to have?
Oh, most like to have? That's, again, there's a longer list of that. My daughter's, again, playing basketball, and I can't dribble to save my life.
Oh, really?
So, yes. So, if I was going to get a talent, it would be to play the sports that my daughters play.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, again, she's also in the play. My other
Right.
one's in the play, and I can't do that either. So, it would be fun. It would be
Right.
more fun to be able to go out and,
Right.
shoot balls or hoops or whatever. But, no, I can't do
That's
that.
understandable. That's understandable.
Yeah, she's like, please don't play with me.
Really?
Okay. Oh, yeah. She's 12. So.
Oh wow, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first occupation?
Oh, I was a hall director. I went to undergraduate at Western Washington University.
Oh really?
Yeah, north of Seattle. And I became an RA there, and then I eventually got my degree in psychology, and I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea. So my boss, who was a hall director, said I could become a hall director anywhere in the country.
Mhm.
So I went to a conference and got a job, and I started at a small private school in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, North
Okay.
Manchester. Mhm.
That's good. That's actually really good.
So you could do it.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a hall director.
Right.
Go and get school paid for, and or just travel the country. Anyway.
True.
Mhm.
So it seems like you had a lot of accomplishments in your life. So what would be your greatest regret?
Ooh, greatest regret. That's a good question. Greatest regret. One of my greatest regrets is missing my sister's wedding, or missing family events because of work. So she got married in August, which is move-in time, and it was not a time. I missed her graduation and her wedding because she graduated at the time we graduated, and then she got married at the time that we started school. Not at this school, but I was in a different school.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would be, I guess, since that was your greatest regret, what would be your, I don't know if the answers connect, but what would be your favorite motto that you go by, that you live by?
I have a couple that I go by. Ever since I was in high school, my high school gymnastics coach would always have us set goals, and she had, a poster or whatever, and it was shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you're among the stars.
Okay.
And so that has followed me around, and I find myself quoting that to the girls.
Okay.
Which surprised me. I'm sure my gymnastics coach would appreciate that. And then it's the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated.
Right.
I think that is pretty profound, and it's hard. It's harder than it sounds a lot of the time. Yeah. So that's what I also say to the girls.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
This next question is kind of, people don't like really thinking about it or don't really have an answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
But how would, if, you said you don't want to die before it's time or your time or before your kids grow. But if you were to, how would you like to die?
How would I like to die?
Yes.
Well, obviously pain-free and would be my number one. But when you play that game, how would you most like to die or whatever? So if I got to pick, I think it would change. It would be different if it was right now, today, versus like when I was old, really old, like 85 and 90. We've joked. I've joked about drowning. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm telling you this. And then just quick, pain-free and quick, usually.
Right.
But it's around. I mean, I've also been in the room when I've had family members pass, and it's pretty powerful to be there. And it's an incredible opportunity.
Right.
So, then I think that would be nice to be surrounded by people I love and my family and friends, and be able to take that last breath with them and share that. But
okay.
It's pretty painful either way.
Right.
So.
Okay. Now, if you were to die and you could come back, as a person or a thing, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a fun question. All right. I think a dog would be fun. I think a family pet would be a good, it seems like a pretty easy life. Sleep, eat, play. So yeah, that's one I've thought about. And then just a person again, I think,
Okay.
But only if you knew that you were coming back.
Right.
To start all over and not know,
True.
That's just a lot of work. But if you got to know or think, have some of the experiences that you have now, the lessons you've learned, it could be pretty fun.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is the lowest depth of misery?
The lowest depth of misery. For me, it is watching. Well, I can imagine it would be people who are ready to take their own life. I think to be in that spot would be the deepest, darkest space you could be in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, I'll end the interview by asking you this last question. What do you feel like? Well, what is your most marked characteristic?
Probably my laugh.
Really?
Yeah. Usually, if they don't see me and I laugh, they know. Right? Is that what you mean?
Right.
Like that kind of a thing? Yeah.
Yes.
So when I really start laughing, I cry, and the tears just start rolling, and that'll usually make people laugh at me. So I'm laughing. Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Is that answer?
Yeah. That answers it perfectly. Actually. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for participating in my interview.
I appreciate you coming in. I'd like to shake your hand. We didn't do that when you came in. You just sat down, and then that was it.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. He's just still recording.
Yeah. You gotta keep the cameras on until you leave.
In case something fun happens.
Always remember that. Always.
All the way to the end.
I interviewed Dr. Simplica,
Mm-hmm.
and he just, completely, he was supposed to doing it for the men and whatnot, and it was just yeah, alright, turn my camera off, and I'm asking all these questions and stuff, and he's just